saw this TV commercial the other day, and there's something interesting going on, I think, in this TV commercial. It was for Nationwide Insurance. You know Nationwide Insurance?
They're on your side.
Jinx.
And as it turns out, Nationwide, which is not a sponsor of this radio program yet, is a mutual insurance company. I didn't know what that meant. You know what a mutual insurance company is as opposed to a non-mutual?
They give you something?
There are no shareholders.
Oh.
The policy holders are the owners. You have mutual shares if you're a policy holder.
Oh.
They have this TV commercial. It includes, this one is with Kirkpatrick, the race car driver.
Sure. Danica Patrick.
Danica Kirkpatrick. So anyway, here's
Danica
Patrick.
2 words.
What did I say?
Kirkpatrick.
No, that's not her name.
No.
Danica Patrick.
Patrick.
Anyway, she's a hottie, apparently. She's the GoDaddy girl.
Yeah.
She's a GoDaddy girl.
I mean, she's a 6 at best. I'm sorry, go on.
So here she is in this Nationwide insurance commercial, and I think this is interesting because I think it's a little cultural commentary that's worth us talking about. So here's the commercial.
You hear Nationwide is on your side all the time, but why should you believe it? Well, Nationwide Insurance puts their members first because they don't have shareholders. Plus, you can add features like vanishing deductible to your policy. And
So all their TV commercials now say Nationwide is on your side. Why? Because we don't have shareholders and we don't have to worry about making somebody else money on your backs.
Isn't that interesting?
I think it's interesting, and I think Nationwide's been around a long time, and
never
they've been a
said
mutual. They've never said it, but I think they're tapping into the fact that in our society and our culture, we have reached the tipping point where people no longer trust publicly traded companies. I think there's always been a pushback against corporate America, but I think the pushback is now becoming more refined against these publicly traded companies where you have shareholders who have no vested interest in the product. They only have vested interest in the profit. And that we've decided to privatize profit and make public the risk. And I think we're at a serious place. Now, this is being recorded on August 1st, 2012. I think in the next decade, there's going to be a serious move in the psychographic of people in this country away from that kind of thing. And people getting in the stock market and feeling like they own shares of things. I just think there's a whole shift that is happening in that area, and I think it's meaningful, and I think it's something that matters, and Adam West agrees with me. He's Batman. Yeah.
A wave of financial tomfoolery has been unleashed upon us.
Tomfoolery.
But fear not. These corporate mischief makers will meet their match.
I love it. Oh, see, I think that's a big deal. I think we're in a shifting economy in the world where people are no longer going to be trusting the IPOs, the initial public offerings, that it's now going to change companies where now you don't have owners, you have shareholders. And I've been on this for a long time. So this is a guy, shaking his same stick, right? That's all I'm doing. I've been saying since I was a young adult, which is like 20 years. I don't understand how an economy can work when there are people who want the profit, but they don't necessarily know or care about the product.
Yeah.
And back in the late 80s, when they were selling all these mutual funds for your retirement, I remember looking at that like, so I'm just going to own a portion of something, but no obligation. Like, that's not business. And this, I think, is what sits at the heart of the Mitt Romney complaint. People who don't like the kind of capitalism that Mitt Romney was into, which was, look, what we are here to do is to make money for our shareholders.
Yeah.
So first and foremost, do our shareholders get paid? Then we think about everything else. But that has to be the first and most important. And I hear people saying this all the time. They say the point of business is to make money. I just fundamentally disagree with that. I fundamentally disagree that the prime point of a business is to make money. I think the prime point of a business is for someone to do good work. For someone to have a meaningful contribution to the world, for someone to feel that they are participating in the creation of the world in the way that they want it to be, and people do that through their vocations. And as a part of that, it has to be in an economic system that's going to make some financial viable sense.
Yeah.
But the point is not to make money. anyone who has ever owned a business, run a business, participated in a business where the point was to make money realizes that that hollows them out. It digs out their guts. It digs out their soul. It digs out their meaning for getting along in the day. Then they go into all this crisis later in life where they're like, life has to have more meaning than making money. But I hear this all the time, and it's happening in our conversations, about taxation and everything else, that, hey, businesses aren't supposed to generate jobs. They're supposed to generate income, right? They're supposed to generate profits. And I get that. I don't think you should start a business just to start a job. You should start a business or run a business or work for a business because it generates meaning for you in the world that we live in. Why is that? How can that not be part of the equation? It's baffling to me. And so I think Nationwide Insurance, them choosing an ad campaign based on the fact that they don't have shareholders and you should be with them because they're on your side, because they're not on the side of the people participating in this tomfoolery and the shenanigans, that's great news.
Yeah,
I'm
I
thinking
think-
about changing over to Nationwide